All right, welcome to the Q&A session of Part 6, Handling Objections and Answering Questions. Raise your hand if you've got a question. And Mike, did you say there was one in the chat already?
There is one in the chat. It's it's kind of an objection, right? Where we talk about people moving to from fiat dollars over to gold and silver, and the question is, once somebody said to Cindy, our value of the dollar bottoming out won't happen in my lifetime. So why should I invest in gold and silver?
Well, Mike, how do you know that? That's interesting. How do you know that, Mike? And then you just listen to what they say. Mm-hmm. You say, well, I follow a lot of people in 7K that's been in gold and silver for 38 years, a lot of microeconomists. I hear a lot of people around the world talking about BRICS, that the dollar is no longer going to be the global currency. What do you think would happen when the dollar is no longer the global currency? What do you think would happen? See, again, I'm asking questions. Listen to what I'm doing. And Cindy, unless you follow all the information that I've been putting up on the band app for the last 6 years about BRICS, about banks, about economies, about gold and silver, the dollar has been reset 3 times since we had a paper currency in the US. Now, it's reset more than that since we've been, our independence. but since we've had a currency that's recognized throughout the states, it's been reset 3 times. 1913 was the 3rd time. And each time it reset on gold and silver. See, a lot of people think just because it was gold standard, it's just gold. No, look at your notes. They were gold notes and they were silver certificates, okay? That you could turn in that piece of paper and actually get a gold coin or an ounce of silver for it. That's when it was backed by something. So, Cindy, are you willing to bet everything you work your entire life on to not have a little bit of gold and silver? Are you willing to do that? You willing to take that kind of risk? You got more faith than me, young lady. I wish I had that kind of faith, but I'm glad I don't. Again, see, I use levity and questions, but I don't make her feel like she's an idiot either. Okay. So that is a tough one, I do admit, but you're gonna have to have somebody that can answer that and not you. You need a 3-way. You say to this, if I was Cindy and I would train her through this training that everybody's getting now, you'd say, Dad, wow, that's a great question. I had the same thing, but I just don't have enough faith. I don't want to take that kind of risk. Maybe you do. I'm not willing to. But let me say, would you like to hear some reasons that might happen in our lifetime? Would you like for me to get those answers for you, or so you could at least hear the input? Would you like that? And she says, yeah. You say, okay, what time would be a good time for me to call you back with that information? Set an appointment. You go get that 3-way hooked up, and you get back with her with that 3-way. Let that person address those questions with her. Okay? That's right. How you handle that one. Okay? Next question.
Great question, Cindy. Very good question.
Great question.
Linda, come off mute.
Hello. I was just asked by my sister, and she's very adamant about it. Well, how do you know silver will never go to zero? If the stock market's can crash and go to zero, the dollar can go to zero. Why can't silver go to zero?
Great question.
Yeah, I know
Linda.
the answer, but I figured other people may not.
Not great question. And if people have questions like Linda has, go ahead and do it. Let's just get the question. We don't need, and we'll assume everybody knows the answer like Linda does. Well, here's the key. Silver and gold throughout centuries, and silver and gold has been the currency of exchange ever since man has had to exchange things for things. That's always been the basis. It's God's money. Silver and gold's never been to zero in centuries and centuries and centuries. So if it's never been to zero in centuries and centuries and centuries, but currency, it doesn't matter if it was the Dutch, the British, or the US, or the D-mark, or the Venezuelan dollar, or the Zimbabwe dollar, and other paper currencies, they have all proven they go to zero. Because when there's so much of it, it becomes worthless relative to buy stuff with. But silver and gold for centuries and centuries have never went to zero. So you tell me why it should go to zero. I'd be interested. I want to know. I want to know if there's a possibility for silver and gold to go to zero. Tell me why. What makes you think it might? See, what did I do again? Question. I gave some facts, but I ended with what? I put the monkey right back on their back. See, that's what a great question asker becomes. They transfer the monkey from your back onto their back very politely. Not antagonistically. Okay.
Hey, Bob, I've got a guy in the chat. Frank is saying, as an institutional portfolio manager, gold and silver are one of those assets allocations for diversification, especially nowadays with the market and your portfolio, especially a lot of clients for retiring that are retiring soon. So we've got a portfolio management guy out here, Frank, thank you, telling you why, right?
And that is happening. Look, I don't know if y'all been watching the Big Six, but all the owners of the Big Six have all been selling their stocks in billions of dollars worth over the last 6 months, y'all. And I guess that portfolio and the manager knows what I'm talking about. Jeff Bezos sold $7.5 billion worth of his own stock. The Walmart family sold over $1.5 billion of their own stock. Hey, look, they understand sell high, buy low. Stock market's overvalued. Their stock's overvalued, and then they know it.
True. Hey, come on, guys. There's got to be questions out there. You don't get
Oh, yeah, I get, now there is one. Where can we find the 7K mission statement? That's a question in the chat. Where can we find the 7K mission statement? I know it's in the wealth strategy PowerPoint.
Yep.
It's
And
in the
it's in the wealth strategy
it's in the
booklet.
PDF. It's in your brochure, your 7K metals little brochure. Let's see, is it in our web? It may not be in our website any longer.
Yeah, it is. It's in the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, in the PowerPoint, but I'm talking about on our website. I hadn't even thought about that.
I haven't
But
even
Hold on.
seen
it's
it.
definitely in the PowerPoint and the PDF presentation of that's available to you.
Yes,
You don't even have to have PowerPoint. You can just download a PDF.
right.
And it's in there. It's been in every brochure that we've ever printed. It's normally is in our website, but our new website,
It's
it
not
may
there.
not be.
I don't think it's there, Bob.
No, I'm looking, it's not there.
But it's in a lot of my trainings. I put that in a lot of my trainings on the band app. Because
Any other questions? Do we have any questions?
What an opportunity you guys are passing by.
Now,
Really.
I mean, if you had an objection, if you didn't have an objection today, that means you didn't talk to no one.
no spankings.
Hey, Bob, can I just do one thing? I've been taking notes as you've been talking, and I just want to kind of recap what I've heard for everybody else. And this way is, so what I heard is that when somebody gives you an objection, dance with the objection. In other words, don't put up a wall, dance with it. Okay, that's the first thing I heard. Second thing I heard is use open-ended questions to get them to clarify what their real core of the objection is. Would you say that's correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. The third thing I heard you say, I didn't hear you say this, but you did this, it was stories and analogies, right? Utilizing stories and analogies will kind of get people to start moving off the objection.
That is correct.
Okay. The fourth thing is knowledge. And I did this, the reason I did this is that knowledge, right? So you have to have the knowledge, like Bob has the knowledge, Derek has the knowledge. You know, the couple of us who have been around for a while, we've learned by making the mistakes and tripping over things and everything like that. You know, having the knowledge to be able to tell the story, right? To be able to use the analogy, right? To be able to ask the open-ended question. You have to have the knowledge to do that. The last thing Bob said, if you don't have the knowledge, pull somebody in who does. Would that be the 5 things you really talked about here, Bob?
That is it. That nail right on the head, you know. Yeah.
So,
Always recognize their objection, you know, make them feel good about their objection. But just remember this too, and I didn't get that in, I should have. As long as people are asking questions or even having objections, they have an interest.
mm-hmm.
And that's why you want to exploit that by handling it properly. By, you know, and hey, that's a great question. I kind of felt that way myself, you know, a little, or hey, I understand. I had that same question, or, you know, you're going to acknowledge their objection or their question, unless it's, well, you're in a pyramid scam. You just address that right up the front. Well, what do you think of pyramid scam is?
Elizabeth Boney says, about 4 months apart, someone again said, I have to do more research.
Exactly. Great. That is perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want people, and that's a follow-up. And Elizabeth, you're doing good. That shows you're following up. That shows you're harvesting the pipeline. That shows you're doing something every day to advance your business. And that's what you need to do. That's what we all need to do. It's just, can we make ourselves do it today? Okay.
Yeah, I think that question was, what if somebody says, I have to do more research?
Yeah.
The person that you're talking to.
I think she's saying this is the second time they've done it 4 months apart, then I have to do more research.
Oh, then you start giving them information. You send them if that's 4 months ago, you know, say, did you ever watch the 17-minute executive summary of wealth strategies of 7K? Have you ever seen that? or when's the last time you seen? This is where you want to send them the 17-minute version, not the 5-minute version, the 4-minute version. You want to send them more information. You want to send them stuff that I train on. You want to send them why everyone should be part of 7K. Okay? You want to pull those YouTube training, YouTube videos off that I provide for y'all. These are tools for you to handle objections and work with. These are tools for people ask, well, why should I be part of 7K? Well, you send them, don't send them something the company does. Send them something I do for you. Okay? That's how you advance your business. Learning to use the tools to send them. And then, of course, you got a team. So you can kibitz with your team. You can kibitz with your upline leaders. Hey, they ask for something. What do you think I should send? Okay.
Here's a good question, Bob.
Hesitate to ask the leader what you think you should send. Hey, look, none of us are 100%. I'm not even 100%. I may give you, just because we give you a tool doesn't mean it's the right thing. It's the thing is we're advancing more information to them. And that's the key. We're harvesting the pipeline. We're giving them more information.
Okay, here's a question from Janet. Person says, I like to buy gold jewelry. Why do I need bullion or numismatic coins? I can just go to a gold shop. Why do I need 7K?
Well, you're going to pay a higher premium for your jewelry than you do with a gold coin or a silver coin. And when it comes down to buying that loaf of bread, would you be willing to trade a gold or silver coin or that beautiful necklace or bracelet or that ring that you're wearing? Which one would you rather buy that loaf of bread and milk with?
Mm-hmm.
Especially to a woman, that in a heartbeat, they want to trade the coin for it, not the jewelry.
Yeah, if I told Mary that we needed a loaf of bread, give me your ring, she'd say, well, you better find something else to eat.
Real quick. That's right. But the other part to that question, and I really like this part. And I said, oh, by the way, is your jeweler going to pay your money to buy jewelry from them? Whereas 7K will pay us money to buy gold and silver from them. Would you like to know how? What did I do? I ended it with a what?
A question.
A question. See, that's the key to learn how to do. Give information in with a question.
These are good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Glenn LaChance.
There we go, Glenn.
We got Glenn out here.
Glenn LaChance has a question.
Hey, Bob. Thanks for coming on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So not new to MLM, new to 7K, but the thing is, the difference is the training, and you guys have exceptional training. The problem is, first day, went out, talked to 25 people that I know, sent every text message that I could find, called everybody, and just poured it out on them. Then I got into the training and said, don't do this. So now I have 20 contacts that almost ghosted me in my texting because I did it in the wrong manner. I seen the vision. I seen the excitement. I seen the training as a field training officer in the police department. Training's expensive. And what you guys got all this training on there, it is extensive. So in your opinion, how can I go back, repair some of these relationships and go back through and do it the right way now, or have you come across that where you're excited about it? You throw everything at them. Now, how is the repair done? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, and I have some old trainings on that too, Glenn. You have to search for it though. And let me just do this on this training here. So when people hear that I got old training, there's nothing I don't have training on already. Okay. In 7.5 years. If you go to my YouTube site, I've got like 400 and some trainings up there. And that's with all the ones I turned off because they were just too old, with comp plan changes and things like that, or things that just weren't applicable anymore. And I just had to turn them off. Look, you got some great pipeline people right now, Glenn. Okay. And this is a one at a time deal. And you really need to do it with a three-way. With somebody you're working with, somebody in your team, that your actual first line upline partner that you're working with. If they're, you got to be knowledgeable. They have to have this knowledge. And what you do is you do something like this. Just give me a name. Just give me a name of anybody. Just the first name, of any one of these 20, 25 people. Your
Right.
own.
Phil.
Phil, okay. So, and if anyone what you do is you take this list of people and you put down anyone that's within, let's say 45 minutes to at most an hour drive for you, no more than that, okay? So if you can do this face to face, belly button to belly button, that is number one best way to do this, okay? Especially in this situation. Then the second best is do through a Zoom, and the third, of course, is through a telephone call. So it would go like this. You call Phil, and if he doesn't answer you because he's ghosting you, say, hey, Phil, look, this is Glenn. We've been friends for, quite a while. I know I must have threw up all over you about something I'm extremely excited about. I apologize. I want you to know I apologize. But I would like to have a conversation with you. If you can take about 10 or 15 minutes with me, let's talk with me. Let's just talk guy to guy. I'd appreciate that very much. Could you text me back or call me back or give me a good time when you have at least 15 minutes or so that we can chat? We can chat once again. You do that with everybody you do. Okay, people that are within an hour visit say, hey, you do the same thing, except you say, hey, look, I'd like to come buy you a cup of coffee, have a quick bite with you, catch up with some old times, and let me personally apologize for just kind of throwing up on you with something I'm really excited about and you couldn't possibly understand. I just really appreciate that. I want to meet with you personally and apologize. Set an appointment, go meet with them, and you tell them, hey, look, I want to tell you why I was so excited. I'm so excited because, I just fell in love with this thing. I can buy gold and silver. I can have now. You got to have your ducks in a row here, okay? When you're doing it personally, and it's better if you can do it personally with someone else too. That's part of your team, but that's not always possible in these days. If we build it the way I build, from your immediate circle of influence, everybody around you in the beginning, that's what makes all these things possible. But what you do is you go there yourself because you can handle this, and then you share that mission statement, and you share the fact the company's 7.5 years old. You share they get to buy what they get their taxes to pay for. You come loaded to bear that you can leave them with 3 or 4 videos, links that they can watch when you leave. You do not try and close them. You don't try and get them to grab a membership. That's what you do not do on these follow-ups on those. You're just trying to get them to get enough information to show you how you're so off, base. You give them a challenge. I respect your opinion. That's why I called you. I wanted you to be on my team. That's why I called you. But I respect you and your knowledge. I'm going to give you this information. I want you to show me how I'm off base. If I'm on the wrong track, I want you to tell me how and why I'm on the wrong track. Okay? That's how you handle these. Same thing with the person that you haven't followed up with. They're information givers and question answers. They're not closers this time. We've got to get them to give it. And remember this statement, write it down because you need to learn it. Everybody here on this call and everybody on this training needs to learn this statement. Look, Bill, I just want you to get enough information to make an informed business decision. It's a business decision. It's a big business. Anytime you can acquire gold and silver, have it paid for partially by your taxes or all of it, instead out of your pocket, and earn an extra $500 a week in 10 years or less, that's big business. Wouldn't you agree? That's big business. So I want you to get enough information to make a real informed decision. And you get the information yourself based on, and I'll keep supplying you with information. You just ask, I'll give you more, because there's a well of it. This company's well established, well footed, well placed, got all the credibility in the world that we can answer all your questions. So you're a friend. You're the reason I called right up front. I made all the wrong mistakes. I apologize because I was so excited. But you deserve to know the facts. And you tell me if I'm off base, if I'm blind. I want to know it. And so help me. And really what you're saying there when you say help me, you're saying, without saying it in words, you're saying, help me help you.
Mm.
Does that help, Glenn?
Yeah, I really believe that I could ask Derek or Mike that same question. They are fantastic. If I say,
absolutely.
Derek, I need help, he's there. So Bob, I'm on number 3 of your video, still working through, still making mistakes. I'm gonna be silver in 60 days. I feel it.
Hey,
It's
you're
coming.
going to be there. Just keep going. Just keep going. The tenacity and excitement you got. You right. Hey, but remember this one thing, and I do it all the time in my training. This is the only business I know of you can fail your way to success. And the best way to success is to fail. If you fail enough times, you're going to succeed big time. Okay.
True. So true.
All right, here's a good one that I hear quite often. I'm not a good salesperson.
Oh, Derek, I am so glad you said that. I really am, because people hate being sold to. I don't want you to be. The hardest thing Bob teaches people that that they don't need to be salespeople, but they need to believe in what they're doing. And Derek, I think you know that I believe in what I'm doing, don't you? Otherwise, I wouldn't have shared it with you. I care for you, man. I care for you. And that's why I shared it with you. Let me just read this mission statement. Boy, this is a perfect place to read that mission statement, everybody. He just stepped into it, see? Let me just read that mission statement to you. And then you say, wouldn't you like to be a part of a force of good? Even if we don't make, $7,000 a week or $2,000 every week, look, if we're accumulating wealth, if we're protecting our family's wealth and our wealth, things we work hard for, we get a little bit of gold and silver and we learn how and why. Isn't that worth it? I mean, we may only, share it and get one or two partners, maybe a year that joins us. That's okay. Wouldn't it be good to end up with $500 a week in the next 10 years? It took us 60 years in Social Security, and we don't even get $500 a week. Okay, again, remember these key statements to say at the right times with an objection and an answer.
Bob, I always like to add a little levity when people ask that question. My next question to them was, are you married? And they say yes. And I say, you've sold something.
I like that one too, brother.
Matter of fact, that's definitely sales. I have to sell that every day.
Have a little fun with it in answering questions and handling people who can do that. See, I'm not that good at that. I have to learn that part because I'm such a facts and figures person. But I do have fun with it, though. I like to have fun with it too. And I learned. See, I just learned from Mike. I will use what he just said in the future. Believe me.
Any other questions? No other questions?
Hey, look, why don't we wrap it up? Let's let people get back to pondering on what we did tonight, how to incorporate it with what they're going to do in tomorrow, the next day, and the rest of the time in their 7K business. But hey, look, we got Saturday coming up. Just a reminder for everyone, we always check our website at least 15 minutes a day. You don't treat it like a big business. If you're not going in and you're looking at your business hub, you're looking at your bound line, you're looking at your points to see what new business came in left and right on your point, because you click at points and you see that. You don't have to pull up your Downline Explorer if you don't, but if you pull up your Downline Explorer and you look at, who just joined your business. Maybe you didn't see some in the last day or two, but hopefully you do. You see who sponsored them. Hey, give them a call. If you sponsored them, they're in your direct line, they're in your sponsorship line, you're in your team. Hey, give them a call. Congratulate them for bringing in. Let them know if you need to, if that person needs a call and a congratulations joining the team. Always check your autosaver and check your active. You've got so many days of active left. Always check that. Always check to see how you can move your autosaver to the 8th or the 21st or the 26th without going inactive. You always want to collect those points. You don't want to go inactive and not collect points. Okay. And you definitely don't want to lose points. And so always check these things, and then always check, every month you should be looking ahead who's going to renew. Pretty soon we're going to have non-renewals, and that'd be cool that we don't have to do that as part of our business. But right now for the next couple of years, we'll still need to be checking that and reminding people to renew and not have two expenses popped on at one time and be able to spread that apart. So thank y'all all for your time and attention. Y'all are all great. You're fantastic. And I know you're fantastic because you showed up here on a Thursday evening. Thank you again. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Back to you to close us out there.
All right. Thank you, Bob. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I want to thank everybody for coming. And I want you to have a good evening and take what this applies. And I will tell you this. Bob told me when I first got in the business and I met him, he said, Derek, it takes 2 years to learn and 3 to 5 years to grow a big business. And Mike and I are just now on over our 2 years, and we're just now learning some things and starting to get it. So Bob's right. It takes 2 years to learn, 3 to 5 to build a big business. But what if it took you 5 years to earn the kind of income Bob's talking about? What if it took you 5? What if it took you 10?
And the great part about it, you get to earn while you learn, don't
Yeah, you do. Yeah, even me and Mike. As many
And you get
mistakes.
those 1099 tax benefits that help you buy silver and accumulate wealth when you're learning. Oh, it don't get any better, y'all.
Thank you all.